So good morning, my dear children. Welcome to today's biology class. And today's class is we'll study the how the cell is made up of. The cell is made up of different small structures. We'll call them as an organelles. Okay, the small structures which are present inside the cell, we'll call it as an organelles. Okay, out of these many organelles are there. More than so 9 organelles we have to study. Out of these 9, there are 3 main organelles are there. And what are the 3 main organelles? Main organelles which are present inside the cell. Otherwise, the main heading we can say that how cell is made up of. How cell is made up of. Okay, yes. Cell is made up of organelles. And what are these organelles means? Organelles are nothing but the small structures. Okay, yes. And what are these small structures? Let me list out all that, then we have to study about each and one organelle. The first one is the plasma membrane. Okay, and the second organelle is nucleus. And the third one is cell wall. Out of the many organelles, and these 3 are very main organelles. Okay, and next one we have to study about ER, endoplasmic reticulum, and fifth one is we have to study about lysosomes, bag-like structures, and sixth one is ribosomes. Okay, and the seventh one is mitochondria. Okay, mitochondria. Okay, eighth one is plastids. The ninth one is vacuoles. Okay, children, this lesson is consists of all these the sub structures. We have to study one organelles. Okay, and today class, let me explain about plasma membrane. It is one of the main important organelle which is present inside the cell. The first one is a plasma membrane. This is also called as cell membrane. Plasma membrane is also called as cell membrane. There is another name for this plasma membrane, and this is also called as selectively semi-permeable membrane. Semi-permeable membrane. Okay, what is this called? This is also called as selectively semi-permeable membrane. Okay, why it is called all these names? What makes it? Let me say that. Actually, the plasma membrane or the cell membrane, these are outer membranes. Outer membrane. Otherwise, we can say that this membrane is present outside the cell. Okay, so inside this cell membrane, there is a cell wall. Okay, this is an outer membrane. So the next point is why this is called as a selectively semi-permeable membrane. Why it is called as a selectively semi-permeable membrane means it allows only the certain particles to be passed through it or across through it and goes through it. For example, the big Greenfield International School, where if you want to enter into the school, who will stop you in the entrance of the school? We have the big gate, and there are the nice security guards and the watchmen. Are they allowing everybody to go inside? Are they allowing? No, they don't allow to go everybody to inside. The whom they'll show the pass, otherwise whom they'll show their identity and so and belongs. Then only what they'll do? They allow it. Exactly like this cell membrane is also doing the same process. It is allowing only the certain particles to be passed through it, not all the particles. For the coming topic, we are doing an experiment. Even though we take the beaker containing water and mixes with the sugar or the salt content, it allows only the water particles to go inside, above, not the sugar or the salt particles. Such an see how beauty it will be. Such a very sensitively it separates the things. It allows only the water particles to be moved through it. That is the reason the name has given selectively semi-permeable membrane. Why this is called like this is a one-mark question. Why this is called as selectively semi-permeable means it allows only certain particles. It allows the certain particles to pass through it, not an certain particles to pass through it, not an all the particles. That is the reason it is called as an selectively semi-permeable membrane. Okay, so this membrane is made up of with, it's made up of with lipids and proteins. Lipids and proteins. Okay, yes. So this is also called, this acts like as an flexible tissue. It's a very flexible. It's not a stiff, it is not a hard, and easily it is an the bend allows it movable one. That's the reason it's called as a flexible structure. Okay, yes. So not only that, why we are studying about this particular topic in this lesson. Plasma membrane, it will be what it allows when what it will be sends out. Okay, plasma, the main the allowing particles through the plasma membrane is oxygen. That is during the time of the respiration for the plant, it allows only carbon dioxide to go inside, and it will be sends out the oxygen outside during the time of the photosynthesis. Okay, and during the time of the respiration, what it will do? And it takes an oxygen. This is it takes an oxygen and leaves out the carbon dioxide. That is during the time of the respiration, and it allows the carbon dioxide inside and it sends the oxygen outside during the time of the photosynthesis. Such a wonderful way this system has it will be work. That's the reason it is called as a selectively semi-permeable membrane. Got it? Okay. So what are the other points? This is also called as IC class. I will say that it is a bilipid layer. It is made up of with bilipid layer. It is a quasi in nature. Quasi in the sense it is a liquid bilipid layer. It is just like as a liquid way, and it will be present. That's the reason it is a quasi in nature. Quasi in nature, just like it's a sponge otherwise. How the sponge has a porous material openings. So through that what will happen? The required one it will be goes, and which is not necessary, and it will be sent out. Okay, these are the few characteristic features regarding the plasma membrane. Okay, now the question is that how it is possible for the O2 to enter inside, CO2 comes out. How it is possible for the water to go inside, and how it will be comes out. For anything, any particle, if it wants to move from one region to another region in the biological system, we have to study, and we have to study the two processes. These two processes we will call it as one is a diffusion and the second one is an osmosis. Okay, we can't say that is simply the particle is moving from outside to inside, inside to outside. There is a mechanism how it will be moved. Let me explain about that particular the definition. How these particles it will be the move from the one region to other regions. Okay, yes. So these are all the points regarding the plasma membrane. Just leave it like that. And the first process we can say that is the diffusion. If anything we want to move, there is a process that is called as a diffusion. Okay, yes. What is this diffusion means? The movement of the particle from higher concentration to the lower concentration. Okay, the particles will move from high to low. Just you think about, don't go for the chemistry, the definitions that we have to say about the solvent, solute, solutions like that. Just in the biology class, just you think about only the water content, water solution, concentration levels. Okay, the movement of particles, the movement of particles from higher concentration to the lower concentration, from higher to lower concentration, that particular movement we'll call it as an diffusion. Okay, yes. Whereas coming to the next one, the second one is an osmosis. How this osmosis occurs? Osmosis is also the same process. The movement of particles from higher concentration to the lower concentration, but there is a necessity for membrane here. There is a need for semi-permeable membrane. Semi-permeable membrane. Okay, yes, whenever the particles are moving across the semi-permeable membrane, so that particular process we'll call it as an osmosis. Whenever the particles are moving without any membrane, that particular process we'll call it as an diffusion. Okay, let me give the general examples for this diffusion and or osmosis. Whereas coming to the diffusion, children, see this is the spray bottle. Okay, this bottle is filled with the spray. Are you getting any smell? No, we don't get any smell when the spray is there inside the bottle. When it gets a smell, this when you open the lid and when you start using this, then what will happen? From the bottle, the concentration of the spray inside the bottle is more. So outside there is no spray and there is no concentration. From inside, what is happening here? The spray comes out. Higher concentration. From higher concentration and it moves to the lower concentration. Where is the membrane here? There is no membrane. It is a glass bottle. That's it. Without any movement. Otherwise, in between this, the spray, when I am using like this, in between this and the spray, there is no membrane that it comes out. Okay, this is an example for the diffusion. Spray bottle is the best example. For example, when the teacher uses spray, when the teacher enters into the classrooms, what will happen? Obviously, we'll get a good smell, spray smell. Okay, when the teacher is on the dais, the back people will also get the smell. So why? Because the entire spray is on the body, higher level. Higher to the low, the spray particles, it will be travel. I hope it is clear for you. Okay, that particular movement we'll call it as the diffusion. Okay, yes. So the second one is osmosis. The movement of the particles from higher concentration to lower concentration. For example, if you take a plant, you are giving water to the soil. Okay, yes, this is a root. Root has a root membrane. This is a root membrane. Inside there are the xylem cells and the phloem cells. So when you are giving water to the soil, what will happen? From the soil, it has to be entered into the last class. We are going to learn that the xylem is helpful for the conduction of the water. Okay, xylem vessels will be present. All the vessels are inside this. Okay, the vessels are inside. This is only the root membrane. Yes. So as vessels are inside. Okay. So now the water has to be travel through the root membrane and it has to be enter into the vessel, and through this and it will be reaches to the forward direction and unidirection. The water it will be go above. Osmosis, see, from the lower region with the help of adhesive and the cohesive forces. So the water particles will be moved, passes through the semi-permeable membrane, that is a root membrane, and then it will be goes inside. Okay, we have one more example. Let me give. We are going to do that particular activity right now. These are called as the dry resins. So the resin is covered with the membrane, thin membrane. When you soak this in the water, this dry one, within a half an hour or within a 1 hour, it will be bulges out. The dry resins are like this. So when you kept it in the water, what will happen? It swells up. What makes it swells up? The water particles through this membrane, and it will be entered inside, and it allows that the resins to be bulges out of the swells up. Am I clear to you, children? Yes. These two are the best examples for osmosis and in the diffusion. Okay. The diffusion, it will be seen in the gaseous particles, and osmosis will see mostly in the liquids. Okay. Just don't forget this. They keeping this in your mind based on these two definitions, and we are going to conduct an activity now. Okay. Yes. How this plasma membrane play a role to allows this the particles. Let me explain that particular activity. Okay, yes, take either any plant cell or an egg cell, and we have to do an activity. Okay, textbook about the plant cell, they given the resin cell and apricots, and in an animal cell they gave an egg cell. Okay, how you will do this in activity means, children, take the 3 balls here. Three different solutions we are seeing here. One is hypotonic and another one is hypertonic, and second one is an isotonic solutions. Okay, yes. First take a 3 beakers. Okay, 3 beakers we have to take, and the first one is, just now I said that keep in your mind, this is the movement of the particle from higher concentrations to lower concentration. The first beaker, just you fill with the concentration of water only. Think, children, don't think about the solute, solution and solvent. Okay, we took the water inside this and then add either the sugar or the salt solution. Okay, and take the dry resins like this. Okay, this is the cell. Which cell it is? It is a plant cell. The resins are the plant cells. These are called as resins. Okay, and take a beaker and fill with the water, and this I already kept the resins here, children. So the resins, it is dry and it is swollen. As you are staying at home, please soak the few resins in the water and see within a 2-3 hours it will be bulges out. Okay, the outer layer it is acting like as here the semi-permeable membrane. So then after, what will happen here means, first the resin it will be the very small like this. After few hours, what you can observe here means the resins will be swells up like this. What makes the resins to be swell up here? The concentration of the resins. First resin is like this. There is no concentration of water here. It is low. The concentration of water is low. Here the concentration of water it will be more. So then what will happen? The water it will be moved from higher concentration to lower concentration through this semi-permeable membrane. As a result, what will happen to this resin? It swells up. So that particular solution, we'll call it as hypotonic solution. Okay, children, is it clear? Hypotonic solution means what? The movement of the particle from surrounding the cell. Surrounding the cell is water concentration is high, inside the cell is less. So the water it will be moved from high to low concentration. So that particular solution we'll call it as an hypotonic solution. Okay, now take the same resin. Take the same resin and here water you mixes with the sugar. When you mixes with the sugar, obviously what will happen? The water content it will be the less, somewhat it will be sticky. Okay, yes. So sticky, then what we have to do means you take this swollen resin. Okay, this first beaker it has a swollen. Now take another beaker and add a little amount of the water, or very little water just you add, and take a sugar and add more sugar here. So obviously what will happen? It will be swells up. Now take this particular resin and just keep inside. If you keep inside, obviously what will happen? Just let me explain about the water concentration. So the water concentration in the resin will be high. The water concentration in the beaker will be the low. So now what is happening here? Any case the movement will be the same, diffusion. Moving the particle from higher concentration to lower concentration. High to low it is moving. Okay, such a solution we'll call it as hypertonic solution. Okay, one is from media to cell and the second one is from cell to media, is called as an hypertonic solution. Is it clear, children? Okay. So the next example, the next one what you have to do means isotonic solution. Isotonic solution. So here take this the swollen resin inside other beaker, and this side also total beaker is also filled with the more amount of the water. So we can say the same amount of the water. Here the water level is high and here the water level is high. Okay, the third beaker you take and just fill with the more amount of the water and just keep that the swollen resin inside this particular beaker and leave it. Did you observe any movement? No, there is no movement. The net movement is here 0. The net movement of the particles will be the 0. Why? Because here totally the resin is filled with the water, and here also the excess water is there. There will be no movement. Okay, children, these are the three the different solutions: hypotonic solution, a hypertonic solution and an isotonic solution. If you have the clear concept about regarding this, they'll give the general different examples. Based on the examples, we have to write which type of the solution. For example, one example I'll give and I'll stop it. Cut the mango pieces and mix it with the, what is that called? As it's the mango pickle season, we cut the mango pieces and we will mix it with the salt and we will mix it with the chili powder and everything, and we'll add the what is that called, oil, and we'll leave it. After few days, what you'll observe? It will be the dry when you kept it in the vessel. After few days, what you are observing? Through the mango piece, the salt, the sour juice, because of the salt, what is happening? The juice, it will become salt. The movement of particle from high to low. Inside the vessel, there is no water content, anything. But what is happening here? The juice is coming out. Okay, like that they will give some examples. They'll ask you to identify which type of solution we'll see in this particular example. Children, that's all for today. Have a nice day.